This is my hair as well. This is history. This is DNA. This is representation of my culture, my background. This is my life. This is my name. And in terms of being typecast, it's either can you play the game man or can you play the drug dealer? And then and then the thing about acting too is how you look and how you speak. I'm just very soft-spoken. I'm not gonna be. I know that is acting in the sense you have to portray something else, but you know, in the sense that I didn't come to audition for that role, and now you want me. Can you be more ethnic? I've had notes like in that sense, and I feel like if I conform, how am I gonna teach Hollywood that there's people like me that exist in all their blackness that are not thugs, that are not drug dealers, that are not crackheads, that don't have to be hyper-masculine. I can be gay, but as long as it's portrayed well, in a sense, I don't want no crazy bad portrayal of what, what I'm saying? I'm trying to be authentic to put my stamp in the world of saying I think I'm just one of those regular people that walk down the street as well. But my story could be told in many different ways, and I could be used in many different ways that you don't seem to realize. And I'm saying it's definitely getting better with ethnic casting, but it's still a long way to go, especially when I've been told many times, cut your hair. Cut your hair,
I hear that all
do
the time.
this, do that. And it's like,
I think it's more so about creating the spaces. I don't know if we addressed it a little bit earlier, but especially when it comes to acting, I know for me as a singer, I had to create my own spaces in a lot of things. A lot of times, people come to me and say, "Oh, you need to take a few pounds off. You need to, do something with your hair. We only like fades. That's where your sound is." But when it comes to being an artist, we have to also be understanding about the fact that our artistry is what we make it, and not what people make of us or they define of us in our artistry. Now, if you are in collaborative artistry like dancing, then individuality is a little more complex. But when it comes to things like singular roles like in acting and singing, I think that you being who you are and being around other people that appreciate that and embrace that and elevate you in that is far more powerful than conforming to something that was never meant for you. You can't force a square in certain spaces. So that's how I look at it.
Well, what if you are? I'm just saying, for me, I was overweight, and I struggled.
I was too.
I struggled heavy with that. So in a sense, but I wanted to be a dancer. So I said, how do I make this work? I had people. Then on top of that, I'm bowling on one leg. So when you think about it, dancers, you want to create this beautiful line, you want to see all that. So I had to go. I actually had a teacher tell me you're bowling on one leg. I was like, I know. I've been in my body for 20-some years. So she goes, why are you dancing? You should quit. I was like, oh wow. So that's playing on my psyche. I'm like, this is a person that I'm looking up to. You're mentoring me, you're giving me a class, and I'm looking for that training. And I'm already going through the issue of my weight and all that. Why am I doing this? Why am I being creative? But I think spiritually being connected to my surroundings and the universe, I'm like, you gotta push through. There's something greater, but you gotta want it for yourself. So I said, in order to do that, okay, I want to work on my body. But going through that, it's like, okay, if I'm attracted to this guy or whoever I'm attracted to, I'm like, yo, he has a banging body. I'm looking at him like, yo, his body is tight, his body is right. So then I'm going to the gym 6 days a week, sometimes 7, not taking a break with my body, not eating because I'm like, no, I gotta lose this weight, I gotta get ready for this show. So many factors. But then I got to a place where I'm like, let me compliment myself. Let me look in the mirror and be like, yo, how do you go today? Your arms is coming out but I saw the vision for myself before I even got to where I'm at now. I'm still working. It's a constant struggle, it's a constant battle. But I think it comes down to the knowledge of self and wanting to educate yourself. So when I went to the gym, I didn't know what I was doing. These weights, I'm it's draining. It's not creative in any aspect of the word. You're in, you're same people, they're doing all this, and then they're looking in the mirror. So that's where the Adonis effect comes in. Because I'm like, you're looking at the mirror because you're not happy with yourself.
Yeah.
Mm. 9 times out of 10, you'll run into so many people in the gym that be like, not happy at all, working out, and they're just like,
there's a good side to that. Like they don't know your story, so I know your pain, and I know a little bit more. Like what was your weight?
I was, at one point I hit 240.
Right, and then now you have those results, because as a brother of yours and like being out in the world, I've seen the attraction that you get. So not saying that conforming all the time is bad, but in your case, like it was worth it. I mean, the word conforming is so strong because it's like, you know, to like let go of yourself and get into the society where you're like we're portraying everyone else. But like your story is different when it comes to that. You went from one image to another, and now it was a good role for you. Like you could have been a overweight dancer. There are a lot of voluptuous big girls who are now super flexible, but you chose to, you know, change your body image and it's worked. You know what I'm saying? Like I've, you know,
I just still want to twerk.
That was something that I struggled with too, because for years I was overweight. Like growing up as a child, I was overweight. But for me, I got like picked on in school. You know, I got picked on in school. I didn't really have friends like that. Like especially like as far as like relationships and stuff like that. It would be weird for me because I would be scared of how the person would like see me. They wouldn't like me. Like, you know, sending pictures. You like, oh, send me a picture of your full body. Like I would just send like
Okay. Yeah.
you know, so yeah, like I wanted to change that. And at first I'm not gonna lie, like I started to change it because I wanted people to view me different. Like it was so bad, like I wouldn't want to go out. I would like stay in the house because I wouldn't want to go anywhere. I don't like people like looking at me and stuff like that, nothing. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't know if it was like a disorder that I had with like eating, but I just like to eat, you know what I mean? And there's times when I really didn't. I wouldn't eat anything because I'm just like, okay, you know, I want to use my energy that I have in my body or whatever, you know? So I low-key fear that I'm gonna struggle with body dysmorphia, if that's like a mental thing. Because I feel like even as I do go to the gym and as I do lose weight, I feel like once I get to like a certain size, I'm gonna keep going. Because I'm not gonna feel as if, well, I'm the size that I want to be. So I'm gonna keep going. It's gonna be like, you know, that could be dangerous.
I think what we need to change as society is not to advocate for like being a certain weight, but to advocate for being healthy. Right. And I think being healthy means that you need to just watch your portions. That no matter what you eat, is like just watch like what you put in your body. So we're not saying like, oh, you do the whole like no meat, no whatever. You do what you feel is right for you, based on the choices you want to make. But at the end of the day, do it in portions. I believe as human beings, if you even think about back in the day in BC, when we had nothing but the earth, what the earth gives us and what we give back to the earth. It was such an intimate exchange. If you think back to how people ate, they only ate enough. And I think, and I think they ate enough to satisfy their body, whatever it was, corn, wheat, whatever it was at that basic level. So I think we, because of all the modifications and all the new exciting things and exchange of cultures and yada yada yada, I feel like we've lost it to a point where we've over commodified food.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at like the US for instance, and you look at like the Netflix documentary, what you eat, like all of this, like food is no longer food, it's a product. It's a product of money, it's an exchange of money. It's no longer a necessity for people to live, and that's the problem. So I think we as society just need to advocate for health, and I think that will roll back a lot of the issues, because if we're advocating for health and not necessarily a certain weight, if you're healthy as a human being, your sodium is right, your heart is beating right, you have your little exercise. It could be walking to the MTA. There's some people whose train stops at 20 minutes away. That walk back and forth, and you have 40 minutes of cardio a day. Come on, let's be real. It's about being healthy, you know?
And healthy with education.
Yeah.
But how many people how many people that look like us, black and brown, are saying to themselves, I want help. But then when you look at it, and you said everything has become food has become a product. In my opinion, I feel like everything has become a product. Because when you think about, I need help, so we're gonna go to a therapist. But us having this simple conversation right here, just in addressing the issue, and then me coming from an open mind, I'm like, how can I help my sister? Or how can I help my brother? Or something that I went through. And it's about being vulnerable enough to share that story and be like, yo, I went through the same thing. Like you starving yourself, like, and I love to eat. I'm like, look, I love food. Like, what we cook and what we eat. And that's what I was like, I'm going to the store, give me a. And I was like, you need anything? I was like, but I had to accept that. I was like, yo, I'll try a diet. I'll try like to fast. I'll do all that. But at the same time, I'm like, I want to enjoy my life. Because there's two things that's promised, life and death. What you do in between your life and that time frame, you have to be happy. It's up to you.
Right.
So I'm like, and when you go to the club, like, this is like, when you go to the club,
That's a workout.
that's a workout right there.
That's a workout.
So it's ways to like do it, and then especially as a creative, you can say to yourself like, yo, I'm an artist. Like when I go to the club, I'm not trying to meet nobody. I'll socialize. I'll be joyous with you. But if the music is right, I'm dancing.
Me too. I'm trying to dance.
Like and people are like, oh, you go to the gym. I'm like, I haven't been to the gym in 3 weeks. In my head, I'm like, I ain't been to the gym in 3 weeks. I'm lollygagging, get back on it. That walk, that 20-minute walk, I love walking. You see so much when you walk. You see so much.
No, you know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I was gonna play off what you were saying.
That's how I talk.
Because it's body, I just was like, because this is not my favorite topic per se, but like, because I do have this as an issue in my own head, like, and I'm an adult, I've had it for like mad long, and it's weird because I think.
I thought you were 16.
I am. Well, you look good. Thank you. Breast milk. Yeah, like, because when I was younger, like, I used to be 345, and so I was like a little fat bastard, like,
Not that bad.
and like, word, and like, so like, and I was terrorized for that shit, like, terrorized, and like, and then on top of that, like, I was mad weird, like, I was dyeing my hair when I was little, and it was just like, I thought I was creative, but like, I used to be making my own clothes and going to school, so kids used to be really teasing. I was like, yo, McKenny, son, they trying to destroy my world, son. Oh, so good.
So yeah.
But like, coming out of it though, like I started losing weight, puberty hit the right way. Come on, then she came with Lindsay Lohan, that helped. And like, I started coming into myself, but then like, body-wise, it's still the same because, like, I'm in the fashion industry, so coming from the fashion industry, like, people is mad critical.
Yeah.
When they come to you, people is so direct. Like, like, I go to showrooms, like, even me as a designer, models come to me, like, I don't be wanting to, like, degrade models per se, but I be having to be like, damn, I read your whole shit. All right, stand there straight, turn around, and I have to critique you based on how you look at my clothes. And somebody doing that to me, it's not a good feeling for me at all, like when I look at her, like my shit ain't all the way tight, you know what I'm saying? But like, knowing me, you probably wouldn't think that because I be naked all the time, but like, what you would say, you have one life to live, like, you live when you dead. And in my mind, like, damn, I could stress out and be in the gym for the rest of my life and be angry, but I'm a lazy bitch and I like burgers. And like, I be chilling, No shade, I really do not like my body. I be complaining about it, but like I still dress naked because I don't have no time. I'm mad scared. Like, what if I got hit by a car tomorrow?
Not hit.
And I'm walking around here looking like a bum because I feel like I'm fat. I'm like, you know what, bitch? If you buy you fat, you still gonna be naked anyway because you know what? If you get hit by a car tomorrow, you killed it 10 days. So
like, here's my perception. Like, when I met you last night, I was like, yo, he's giving me life, this whole outfit, everything, the whole look. And then I was just like, because I'm sitting there coming in and I was like, oh, your body's nice, this and I'm like,
yeah, because you was like, oh, yes, nice chest. Yeah, I was like, your chest
I was
is
like,
like,
I don't know, I've been injured like 2 weeks, but that's in my conscious, but it's how we perceive ourselves. And it's like, what do we do to work on that?
I mean, I live in my truth, don't get me wrong, like,
when you see me walk out the door and I'm like in my shit, like I fully own my shit. Like yes, bitch, I'm killing it today. Thank you. Yes, I know the penis.
I own my shit, but I'm still like,
you know, it's still like an act behind your brain, but you know, like I'm secure in my shit though, but it's still a mental thing. You know, like I be having
It's a balance.
you know, especially if you're a little bipolar. One day you wake up, you're like, yes, bitch, you're killing the world, and then it's like, looking at
But that's okay though. I feel like we need to like learn that there's some days I'ma feel like, damn, you know, and there's some days I'm gonna look at myself and be like, God damn. You know, and I think that's okay as human beings for you to have, because the world, we have to have opposites in this world. If you look at everything in the world, that's why there's light and there's darkness. That's why there's opposites in everything, and that's just to create a balance. And I feel like if you overly even, I feel like God just made that, or whatever, a higher being, depending on what you believe. But you know, God just made us in that way so that we can balance each other out, because He knows the nature of human beings is that if we do something too much, then there will be negative consequences. Look at things like slavery and things like that. It's because of the over greed for something that, you know, if you balance it out with everybody in the world, the situation will be different. But because, so everything has to be balanced. So I feel like they shouldn't be, it's not such a bad thing that one day you wake up, you feel like this, and one day as long as you know, for the majority of the time, it's like...
No, it's natural though, but from a mental health lens,
yeah.
like not to have my own but like, you know, I do be having a little mental health issues, and it's like, you know, I go to a therapist and I talk to my therapist and she be talking me through it. Like, I'm mad crazy. I be doing mad crazy.
it's that Pisces.
And I'm learning not to do these things, and I be telling my therapist, like, I always come every week with a story for her.
Yeah.
I do though, but she be saying like...
But then it's because if you think about it, is if the kids who came at you so much for you being yourself, if they were taught not to do that, you feel like this, I mean, probably you are who you are today because of that, but if you think of that balance...
If he stopped eating, this is the last thing. If you stop eating because you felt away, like one time, like I was sitting with a man long, so I'm like, it must be me, and like I just started walking around like Butch Trey for like a year. Like I swear to God, like everything I was Jesus. Like I was not me on no level. Like I was being very like outside.
Well, I wanted to present, I guess, a personal perspective on this, since I guess maybe I didn't share so much on that. But I'm a model, and I model swimwear and underwear, fine art, which is like nude modeling, body painting, anything to do with physique. And I know that within the past few years, I've been smaller than I've normally used to be. I'm like around like 150 right now, and I used to be like 160, 165. So that's like, and since I'm already naturally a small guy, all that is muscle that I've lost. And I feel like now I have photographers contacting me like, hey, I want to work with you, da da da. But these pictures are a couple years old, and it's like, and I have that like insecurity, like, oh, like, cause I feel like, okay, some people say that I look fine now or whatever, but I know that I'm smaller, and I know that the type of modeling I do is like, I feel like there's an expectation, a level that I have to meet, and I guess that helps with me all the time. It's like, and that's like, I haven't really been modeling much at all this year because I've just been like, you know, I don't really look like what I used to, and these people are probably trying to book me off of my past glories, and here I am looking in the mirror and I look like a small boy, you know? That's how I feel.
Doesn't that go back to creating the space you want to see? Like,
I mean,
so
true.
If you know you're going, if you want to create a space where you are now, in the present moment, it just how we're doing this show, just how we're just coming together in a sense of community, you can go to the resources around you and like, you know what, I want to do a photo shoot, you plan it, come up with the whole concept, come up with all that, and it's catered to your likeness, your image, you're creating that space.
Well, you know, I mean, it's not like there's not the space for that, because there are people trying to still work with me regardless of the size I am now. It's my own personal demons in my head that type
Yeah,
of
but
it's
a lot
like,
of people are not willing to go through that, the darkness to get to that
One
point.
thing with spaces is we try to create spaces to like achieve certain things, and it do work. But sometimes when you're really trying to be a boss, you cannot stop to wait for a space for your turn to happen. You just gotta just knock bitches out of their space and take their shit. You know what I mean? And that's something I'm learning. Cause I feel you as soon as you said that, like, it's certain aspects of like I have to. Like even being gay, like I put myself in situations where I feel comfortable. Like I'll look around, walk outside. I don't see anybody walk around looking like me, but I put myself in spaces where I know I can turn around and see somebody looking like me. You know, so like, I'm less affected by if someone accepts me in society versus like you man cool looking, or like oh you're a sexual leader instead for me and my children. Like you know, like, I feel you on that. Like,
But you created that space for yourself, and you went inside self. Went through the darkness that you went through from being teased, being picked on, the weight and everything, and said, you know what, bump that. I'm living my life. What you see is what you
You
get.
gotta stop waiting for those spaces to occur. Sometimes you just gotta just.
I feel like we're like focusing on the negative about what we want and who we are, and I feel like there are like very positive sides to our body image, and I think it feel like it ties into the Adonis effect as far as like what has gotten you a positive result because of the way you are. Like I know that, and we talk about this a lot because I feel like you don't understand what it's like to be like a smaller version of a petite like person, and especially like when you hear from child and you're like, oh my god, you're so skinny when you're hungry, especially in the Black and Latino community, it's a huge thing. And so I know that walking out every day that I want to be a bigger person with metabolism, and I'm always moving, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So it's like I have to use what I have to get what I want. Like you have to play your strengths, and so I know that because I'm a skinny boy, I can rock. Crop top with, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a small petite guy, I can do like androgynous looks, and it won't look different in certain eyes and certain prospects. So I'm just like, just work with you guys to get what you
That's
need.
true.
Like,
okay, bottom line.
Insane health, because health is spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. You know, if we start advocating for be healthy, we're gonna have more of that, of people using what they have to get to where they need to go.
That's right.
And I think that's where we all need to shift as a society. Instead of advocating for a certain thing, advocate for healthy aspects. You know, love yourself. Love others like you love yourself. Be careful not to love everybody, because not everybody's gonna love you.
Right.
But, you know, have that basic human respect. Don't eat into anybody's lifeline. There's no reason for each of us to cut into each other's lifeline, because there's so much in this world. We haven't even discovered the ends of this world. So there's still so much. So it really just boils down to that love of self so much that your love of self doesn't intimidate.
Yeah.
You also have to trust yourself.
You feel me? Like, you loving yourself, the way you do should never intimidate how much I love myself.
Oh, yeah.
And it all boils down to how we think. Like, if we advocate for health.
Advocate for health.
Advocate for health. That's
Exactly.
What's that on Facebook?
Yeah.
And love yourself.
I have a question. So we're talking about mental health. What are some ways that you all take care of your mental health? For me, I'm like learning more about meditation, and like I kind of like learning to pray to myself, like take responsibility for my life and like channel all that energy to me. But like, what are some ways? Maybe we can talk about some ways that you guys do that in your personal life, because it might help some people.
That's true.
Okay.
Well, I smoke weed.
Go straight to it.
I smoke weed. I've been smoking for a while. I'm also a singer, so like I love to sing. I love music. I get lost in it. What else do I do? I mean, if it's your lifestyle, you know, sometimes sex is a good release. You know, just certain things that trigger like endorphins, like pleasure and like reaching a higher place, like
What about
meditation. Huh?
Folks are allowed to indulge in.
Okay, so like for like people that are youth and PG, you know, you can drink some peppermint tea
I ain't sure.
and like
Play
and listen to
outside.
some jazz.
Go outside.
Get some sun. Leave your video games.
Go to the beach.
Yes, go to
Like-
the beach.
I taught K through 4 for 3 years. Whenever we went outside to go play recess,
They don't know what to do.
I was like, y'all don't play double dutch. I was like, y'all don't play
Like, yeah,
hopscotch.
move your body. Be
But
one.
look at society. Look at society.
Yeah, like they don't
The
know any hate
average-
games.
The average person is working a 9 to 5. An average family household is one parent in there. They're working a 9 to 5. You have, let's say, 3 or 4 or 5 kids, and a 6 to 10 overnight, whatever the shift may be. The time you get home, the only thing you worry about is getting those kids food, doing their homework, and then going to bed. You're not sending them outside because look, people are losing their minds left and right, mental health.
Right.
You don't know if your child will come back home, and then if you look at you take a whole nother spectrum.
That's true.
If you look at the way society and the media is playing on Black lives and how children are getting brutalized by grown-ass men that are fearful of the color of their skin, not what the content of their character is or who they are in a developing society, who they're developing in a society, but they're looking at them and saying, you look this way, I don't like the way you look, I hate the way you look, I'm gonna kill you. That's what is being fed on media. This plays all the way back into history.
But wait, what's your solution?
My solution,
for the bullying.
sometimes I walk away from stuff. I have to detox. I have to detox a lot of times. Like even when it comes to my art, I'm like, yo, I don't want to dance today. I don't
Step
want to
away
do
from it.
I just want to sit there and just be wherever I'm like. So I'm detoxing from the situation. Too much alcohol for me. Yo, I know how I get when I'm dealing with certain stuff. So I'm like, let me just detox for a week.
I have, I guess, different methods of detoxification. I am a shy boy and I'm a socialite, so my scales have to be balanced. And for people who are like me, who have FOMO and who want to stay home, not do anything, you have to. I learned that really, it's all about scheduling and more so of like, you have to know when to go out, when you want to do something. Do it because you want to and not because someone forces you to. Because as a socialite, you feel like, especially with me, I get FOMO a lot. And I go into situations that I don't need to be. And it's not a detoxification, if that's a word. And part of me, that is a way to detox, to go out and not necessarily go out to club or anything, go out to, I guess the pastime for me, I like to go to the pier and just smoke and look at the water. I love water. That's why I'm glad I went to the beach. I love looking at water, and I'm a nerd, so video games is my detox. I'm sorry, I like to stand, get called some racist things by some little white kids and play video games.
But, I mean, for me, I think when I was younger, because I lived so much for the pleasure of people, I didn't really know who I was. And now that I've turned 24, I'm going to say 2018 has been a really growthful year for me. And just as an individual, I've come to really love, I cut my hair, I've come to really love myself. As you can see, like most people who knew me, I was very skinny. I wasn't doing it on purpose, but I just wasn't eating. And I don't think that, like, I just wasn't hungry. And I think it had gotten so much into me, or whatever life was happening. I don't know what it was, but anyway, but now more so, I think just learning to tell myself that, yo, you're Umazi. Like, that name alone is very unique. You probably not ever hear of another Umazi in this country, ever. That in itself just says who I am, and I have to just keep on reminding myself that. So I think that for me has been a way in which I've been slowly reflecting on myself, loving the feminine energy that I have, because I used to really resent it to an extent that I don't know, I was such a tomboy. I don't know what it was, but I really tried to shun my femininity for a while when I was younger. So I think now more so for me is just really just reminding myself that I am who I am and my uniqueness is needed in this world.
Do you think femininity plays into the Adonis effect?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I know for me, just even in this conversation, I've had to reflect and I'm like, yo, I need to check myself because my friends, like even my business partner, I used to be the first person to be like, hey, you're too young to have a belly. You know, stuff like that.
I feel you.
You know, it's things like that. I'm like, so when you get to 50, you know, what's it gonna be? You know,
Right.
I really had to check myself. Like of late, I'm gonna say in the past 2 weeks, not too long ago. I don't know how it goes. The past 10 years, no. Past 2 weeks, I really had to be like, every body type is acceptable. I need to stop teasing people like, oh, you're tiny, like, I need to honestly stop. But I don't mean it in like a place of like hurt heart. It doesn't matter what my intentions are. The words are already out there.
Yeah.
I need to now start exactly. I need to now start being very mindful of okay. It doesn't matter what your intentions are. Stop saying certain things to certain people unless you like are really, really, really cool with them that they know when you're saying something like that, it's out of love, like appreciation or something, you know? Because Africans and Caribbeans sometimes we could.
Also, I think you have to detox from that as well because it can be exhausting. Always trying to please people. That's my Libra. That's my mental gymnastics. Like just trying to please people can be very exhausting. So you gotta help people. Or trying to help people. So you gotta know sometimes. I feel you definitely gotta check yourself more, but
keep it back.
Don't hurt yourself in the process trying to do it. You're just gonna exhaust yourself and feel like you're a PC cop and it just makes everything.
Well, we have 2 more people to say that. How do you
What was the original question?
How do you cope with, or what are the things that you do to deal with combating those voices in your head?
Or like the mental health.
Well, for me, I watch what type of energy I keep around.
Okay.
And like I love music too, so I definitely listen to a lot of music just to like meditate and like just space out and just be me. Focus on me, focus on the things that I need to be writing about. It's pretty much it.
Or do you think you do too much of it?
But you gotta therapy.
Too much what?
Focusing on you.
No, I never used to focus on me. I used to please everybody as well. So I'm just trying to focus on me and so I can level up.
That's right.
Come on, Pisces.
I go to therapy, but I literally live for the turn up. That's like my biggest form of like release from the world and thinking like if I didn't party today, tomorrow I would just die. So yeah, that's my biggest coping mechanism is to get turned and party and get fresh. That helps me in my walk through life.
Safely and healthily.
Safely and safely turn ups.
I'm
Where I
excited.
get home and remember what happened the day before that.
I feel like accountability and like acceptance is very huge. For me, like the accountability that if I really wanted to be that, since we're on this page of image, like weight or look like I really could just do it, you know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm If I really wanted to work out and be this 180 guy, which I'm 157, I think, I could do that. With all the like physical setbacks and just being so active. And then I guess the other flip side of that is acceptance, like having that validation sounds kind of really bad from other people is really good for you. You know, like when you're skinny and you slim and you snatching, you know what I'm saying? That I feel like sometimes that's good for the ego and we need that shit to like move on and to preach it to other people. That look like us. Like, okay, I see you, skinny boy, you represent for us out here.
I'm happy for y'all.
Shut up. And I hate when people give that. Like, they look at us like, you small bitch. What are you complaining about?
We have problems.
We have that problem.
Everybody has problems.
muscle building. Let's cut it off right here. I want to thank everyone for coming. You know, there was a lot of emotions and moments there. I appreciate all of this and appreciate all of you for coming. And thank you for coming to Mimosas with Minato. Subscribe to us, watch us. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
The air.
Alright.
You go.